effectively, you know?
When them kids was real small, and you used to this work, and I'd be like, damn, she gonna kill my boy. She do so damn much.
Yeah.
And, you lay around, Martell. Oh, I used to be so mad to myself.
I used to share that with me.
I tell you, I don't give a damn what nobody said. You done did the damn thing. Do you hear me? And you're still doing it, baby.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Because you done got a girl pregnant. So what?
Hey, what's up, guys? Peace and blessings. Welcome to my live real talk with your girl, Lady D. Let me make sure that everything, hold on, guys. Let me make sure that everything is okay. I want to go ahead and play some more of that. Let me go ahead and remove that right quick. So, guys, peace and blessings. Welcome to my live real talk with your girl, Lady D. Trying to get everything together, and then I can go ahead and start my live. So, guys, welcome. How are you guys doing? Hope you all are doing great today. I'm not going to talk too loud, guys, because I don't want to have any throat problems, which I took a break today. Well, yesterday. So I'm here today. So, guys, welcome. Like I say, this right here is unapologetic and non-biased real talk. This channel is not for everybody. So, don't get your panties all in the bunch. I see my girls in the house. I'm so glad she's in because I've been having throat problems. I don't know what it is, but I think it's time to take a spiritual bath because, when you start standing on your truth. So let me go ahead and drop the mic for Logical Speak. So, guys, make sure you go ahead and hit like or however you feel led. That's how I look at it, Comment and share these videos for more unapologetic content. So I don't have no makeup on or anything. Let me go ahead and I know you got me, girl. I know you have me. Just checking my mic because I was having mic problems. So, guys, we're waiting on Logical Speak to come up so we can go ahead and start everything. Hey, my girl. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you this evening?
Girl, I'm doing pretty good, girl. I said I had to take a break. Wait, there's a feedback.
Is it?
Wait, hold on. Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. Say something.
Can you hear me?
I think it's okay now.
Okay, great.
Wait, it's kind of you probably be moving the mic around. You think so?
I may be. I'm gonna try to be as still as possible.
Yes. So how is your day today, girl? How was your day?
My day was great. My family emergency, I believe, is resolved. Everybody is lovey-dovey again.
Praise the Lord. The storm don't last always, right?
So all is good.
Yes, indeed. The storm does not last always, girl. So we're going to go ahead and dive in some of this stuff right here. I'm not going to talk loud, and I'm so glad that you came on,
Yeah, girl.
But I was just watching some things, I wasn't watching the video. I was just watching some of the thumbnails. I mean, these people's a lot, right? I mean, they can make up some stuff.
Girl, I mean, they've been at it all day. I was doing my little chores and I had, I was flicking from channel to channel like I regularly do. Girl, they got their panties in a bunch. You hear me?
Wow.
Yes, they do.
Wow.
Yes,
and most of it stems, and because like I said, when I come on here, I try to pray because this right here, whether they want to believe it or not, this is my ministry and I stand on my truth. It may not be your truth, but it's my truth, right? And we all have the right to agree to disagree. But
absolutely.
When I came on here, I was praying and I was saying, why is all this stuff is just spinning out of control? And it's just, seems like, if you got the pictures and videos says 1,000 words, right? It does not even need you to even open your mouth. It speaks for itself, right?
It's self-explanatory.
Yes. So
right.
The reason why all this stuff is like it is, and they wanted to spin it into that narrative because money is under the table. That's the only thing that I can see.
Their money ain't gonna change. I mean, they're gonna get their clicks and their subscriptions, regardless, as long as they riding up under her skirt, they will get the clicks.
That's it.
Yep.
And that's the reason why they're fighting so hard. I see Miss Lily says pictures and videos can be open to interpretation. Not really. It can be, but like I said, if it's an orange, it's an orange. If it's apple, it's apple. We're
Right.
gonna call it as it is. It's just because we have favoritism for certain people. Because I remember watching this channel, this blogger, and like I said, she's very, to me, she's very conservative, and I just don't understand why. It looked like she's favoring on one side, because she looked like, whatever she came on this platform with, she came before YouTube. So YouTube really is not paying her. She already had money, look like it,
Okay.
And when I saw one day a girl came on her platform because she went to Melanie and Carlos King podcast in Huntsville, and she also paid a visit at the Scots, restaurant. They a bar, right? They lounge.
Okay.
And they was asking, was it clean? And how was it? And she couldn't say nothing bad about it. I mean, she's saying, I really can't say too much bad about it. And she's talking about Miss Wanda. And she said, Miss Wanda, she's a totally different person from off the camera. She's very sweet,
Yeah.
And they was trying to find something. It was like they was picking to find something, bad. So finally, let me go ahead and say this right quick. So finally, she said that, well, it had crumbs at the bar. Oh, they took them crumbs at the bar and they spend it as if this man's had a dirty restaurant or whatever that is. He call it black. Tell me how people could take something and just go in and spin it.
Well, they are fans of melodies. They cannot support the Scots in a positive manner. They can only support her. They only see one side. They're only going to see one side. That's why this young lady that said pictures and videos can be open to interpretation. I don't think so. The pictures and the videos speak for themselves. They are telling a truth. But if her fans are going to always see something different or try to spin it in her favor, they are one side. They are biased.
Absolutely.
I see the truth.
That's it. Can you hear me real good? I'm having mic problems. There's some kind of loud sound that's in my ear. Now the buzzing sound is off. You can hear me now?
I can hear you clear.
Okay, good. Yeah, go ahead and finish talking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not biased. I don't have a fan on the show. I like the show. And in fact, I lean towards the cast more so than one person. That's just not my personality to idolize or worship one person. It just don't work for me.
Absolutely.
I see wrong where it's wrong, and I see right where it's right. I'm not going to put a wrong and make it a right.
Yes. Can you see what Miss Lily is saying? She's saying logical speak. You can go ahead and read it.
She says logical speaks. I guess she means I'm biased. All you do is leave negative posts about melody on people's comment sections. It comes across bitter. I'm not bitter. I leave a post based on what I see. If it happens to be negative towards melody, which most of the time it is, it's because that's what I see.
Absolutely.
I see her business acumen. I see that she's a marketing genius. I see that she's a very lovely young lady. It's her personality and how she treats others. I don't know if Lily can hear me. How she interacts with others, how she interacts with her fans, sicking them on people, having them dog out the rest of the cast, encouraging them to do that is what turns me off about her. It's not cute. I don't like it. And I'm not going to say I do, because she was cheated on. I think it's very mean and nasty. She says, for the show, you should be able to give negative and positive comments about all castmates. I am 100% for the show. I like the show. But where I see negative, I'm going to speak on the negative. Where I see positive, I'm going to speak on the positive. You don't like my comments because they don't align with yours.
Absolutely.
I can't say what I want to say. I don't care about how you feel, Lily. I don't care about how you feel about my comments. They are
Absolutely.
my
Absolutely.
comments belong to me. I don't care.
Absolutely.
You don't have to like it. That's your privilege.
And we all have a right to agree to disagree, you know.
You don't like my comments, so be it.
That's it.
I may not like your comment, but I'm not going to tell you I don't like your comment.
Yes.
You can have
She said, I don't like your comment because they have a nasty undertone. But people going to say whatever they want to say because they already have their mind set. And when you have your mind set, no one can sweat. Right. Now, when the show first started, we really liked it, Melody. We liked it, the entire cast. But the reason why, I cannot, even like Melody anymore. And I'm Team Right. But because the way that she took this show to a very, very dark place, and they cannot see it. And like I said, this show was all about, ensemble cast coming together, building up their community. And she made it all about her. And the thing about it that people fail to see is that Melody, she put her own business on social media. Because even the executive producer, and Carlos King, they all was shocked because they knew the business, but they wanted at least to get familiar with the people. We couldn't even get familiar with the cast because it was all about the hosts.
Right. The young lady said she didn't like my comments because they have a nasty undertone.
Yes.
Oh, I don't care.
Yes. But like I say, all that right there, these people, like I say, the truth is going to come out because we already talked about it. This right here is what I call the age of Aquarians, where nothing is going to everything is going to be uncovered. Nothing going to be covered. Everything is going to be exposed. Right. And whatever you did in the dark is going to come into the light. And when it comes to this show, this is the only show that I know of. I don't know about you, Logical Speak, but this is the only show that I know that they have taken it to a very, very low gutter place because they made it all about themselves. And the fans were so involved in this cast where they thought they knew these people, personal. Like I said, most of this stuff that these people are showing, they only show a snippet. These people are not showing their entire life, and it's like now, the show to me is like garbage. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it has from season 1, episode 1, the show took a negative turn towards infidelity, cheating, lying. When it didn't have to do that. It could have focused on business. It could have focused on them being nice to each other, polite to each other, but it took a nasty tone.
Yes. And Miss Lee said, hold on, does Melody write people's scripts, edit other people's scene? You reaching, Lady D? No, I'm not. Melody made it all about herself. Melody started poking in people's business because her marriage was toxic. Melody could have focused on her and talk about the business, but Melody made it about herself. Everyone that came encountered with Melody, it's like Melody had a problem with that person, and you all are saying, oh no, they are jealous. Not everybody is jealous of Mel, because every last one of them that's on this show showing their life, they wants to get paid just like everybody else. So Melody, nobody is jealous of Melody. And besides, who wants Melody in life? Nobody wants to go through the hell that that was going on in that house. Because like I said, at the end of the day, the only ones that's going to get hurt, and that's the kids. But try to get this back on track, and we can go ahead and open up the panel. You guys welcome to come on after me and Elijah, at least, say what we have to say, but I open it up because I want you to see when it comes to Miss Marlene. And Miss Marlene, she's gonna ride and die for her child. Who wouldn't, right, Lige?
Of course, that's her son.
But what stuck out to me is when Miss Marlene was talking to her son, and she said, I was afraid that Melody was going to unalive my son, how, she was treating him. And that right there, that part stuck out. What are your thoughts about that? Because, certain things we don't make commentary on, but anything that Martell do, we want to make sure that the world knows.
Right. Miss Marlene was supposed to speak up for her son, support her son. Now, I said that to say this. When your son is doing wrong, you're supposed to tell him, oh, no, son, that was wrong, like she did. She did tell Martell that he should not be cheating. He should respect his wife and keep his family whole. She did tell him that. She didn't tell him, oh, yeah, you can have your wife and you can have your side woman too. She told him to be good to your wife, be good to your children, and don't cheat. Legally says, logical speaks, because someone has said you're bitter in your comments does not mean they are pro-male. Girl, I don't care what you say about me being bitter. I know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and we'll get to the comments later. Let's go ahead and finish with what we was talking about here.
Okay.
So and that's why I went ahead and played that part, because one thing when it comes to Miss Marlene, we know from that show she's going to tell it like it is, and she's not a person that if her son did wrong, she's going to call her son out. Because I remember when she had told Melody, you're going to always be a part of my life. You remember when Miss Marlene had said that?
She did.
You're going to always be a part of my life. And even when Melody and Martell was going to court, even Martell had got on his mom and say, Mom, you're supposed to be sticking up for me. No, your mom say, no, I'm going to stand up for the right. I'm not going to go on that stand and try to purge it myself,
Right, she absolutely did.
So, like I said, is a lot of stuff that is a feedback in your mic. I can hear myself.
Wow, I can't hear anything. I mean, I can't hear any feedback.
Oh, it's say some again.
I don't hear it.
Okay, it's kind of clear now. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, when you watch, when we finish with the live, just go ahead and watch the and you can hear it too. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, getting back with her. So that's why, I wanted to go ahead and play that little small clip of her, because, she talked about it, and the thing about it, we didn't know what she was saying, because they all knew what was going on in that house. They knew that house was toxic.
Yeah, they knew.
Yes, they knew that the house was toxic.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes. So let's go ahead and play. We're gonna play a little bit more here.
Okay.
Oh. That's a little bit too.
I'm tired of hearing you saying that. I know it could be like seen as like taunting, but like here's the thing: you could taunt somebody. It's kind of like, how our siblings used to do us back in the day, and they put their finger, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Yeah. That still don't give me the right to strike.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's go ahead and stop right there. I see Miss Behaviors in the house. I'm gonna drop the mic for her to see if she want to come on. Do you know Miss Behave?
Oh yeah, I go to her channel all the time.
Okay. If you want to come on, Miss Behave, you are welcome to come on. Yes, indeed. This is going. Yes, I love her commentary. Yes, guys, make sure you go check out Misbehave channel, Unapologetic as well. She's going to stand on the truth. If you want to come on Misbehave, you are welcome to come on.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
indeed. So let me go ahead and get out this right here. Yeah, so I wanted you to see the part where Tasha K had said, you don't put your hands on no one.
Absolutely.
And see, a lot of people, they wants to say that Martell, he's the abuser, but still of all, you don't put your hands on no one.
Absolutely. It's not right either way. Whether it's a female putting her hands on a man or a man putting his hands on a woman, it's not right. There is no justification for that. If she was angry with him, she could have took it to the courts. Where it's supposed
Absolutely. Absolutely. Starbucks says, welcome everyone to Real Talk with Lady D. Hey, Star.
Hey, Star.
Yes, indeed. But girl, yes, but getting back to what I was saying is that I don't see how they can justify it. And when I saw one of the content creators, they went ahead and they put surviving Martell. If Martell did anything, I promise you, just in my Nene Leakes voice, it's not caught on camera.
Right.
Melody stuff is caught on camera, and I'm pretty sure because I was in a group this morning, and it was saying that the DA is going to pick up.
Yeah.
They're gonna pick up that Melody is going to get a charge. They're gonna pick up that. That's going to be a felony.
Well, I'm going to go by what Melody has said openly and on air. Martell has never abused her. I mean,
Absolutely.
I hear fans saying that they believe that he has been abusive to her, but I'm going to go by what she said when she was asked by Dr. Heavenly, has Martell ever abused you? She said no. So I'm going to go with that. I believe she was telling the truth.
Yes, because even, Dr. Jackie said, you look like the type. Not Dr. Jackie, Dr. Heavenly said, you look like the type. And I mean, it's like she was wearing that proudly. If someone would say, I look like an abuser, look like I will fight, and I know that, this is my brand,
Right.
I would deny it. But it looked like she was happy to take that title.
Yeah, she was eating that up. She was eating that up. That she was physically abusive to him, and she was like, girl, Martell wanted to do something to her or hurt her, she would be no problem. He could knock her out with one blow. But he's more of a man than that. Because I'm pretty sure his mama raised him not to put his hands on a woman.
That's it.
Just like he's most likely raising his son. Don't put your hands on a woman. He said that he did try to hold her hands to keep her from hitting him, but he never struck her. And I believe it.
Well, we only can go by what Melody said. And I do not believe that Melody, if she said that Martell put his hands on her, she's going to come out and say it because she needs some type of storyline. And that would have been a storyline right there where she won't have to be doing all the stuff that she's doing now, all the extra stuff. All she had to do is just come out and say she was abused, and she can be the face of domestic, whatever,
Well, she didn't have
but she never came out and said anything like that.
She didn't have no problem coming out saying that she beat his ASS. She didn't have no problem saying that.
No, not at all.
Beat your ASS. She didn't have no problem. I mean, that came out fluidly. Everybody heard her.
Absolutely.
And she put her hands on him.
Yeah. So why would she sit there and throw herself under the bus and say she beat his, you know what? But yet she never said what he did to her because he didn't do nothing to her. Absolutely. He said he would never. Martell said he would never put his hands on a woman.
I believe him. And I believe
him. I believe him.
Said, oh, Martell pulled me by my hair. Oh, Martell knocked me down. Oh, he slapped me in my face. She's never said none of that.
Yes.
Because it never happened.
And like I said, guys, we only can go by of what they put out. So nobody can get mad. Nobody cannot get mad. I cannot tell you nothing but what they put out. If they put it out, they air it out, they are free game. Melody, she told on Dr. Heavenly platform that she was the one that, pretty much in so many words, no, she ain't gonna sit there and let nobody hit her. Didn't she say that?
Yeah, absolutely. She said
I got the video. I'm not gonna play it, because but you guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
but she did say it.
She said she's not gonna let nobody. And that's when Miss Heavenly say, "Oh, you a scorpion. I know you sitting there, you putting your hands," and how she got all buffed up. So
What?
she sitting there, she done threw her own self under the bus.
She was eating that up, honey. When
Yes, not knowing it was gonna bite her at the end of the day.
she was so proud of that. In other words,
Absolutely.
she got her hands on him. That ain't cute. That's not cute.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. Misbehavior, you want to come on? You are welcome to come on. I went ahead and dropped the link. Yeah. But this right here, and for them to say surviving Martell, and now they're all upset, saying that all this right here have backfired on Martell. The only ones that's saying it have backfired on Martell, and these bloggers that's going hard for Melody. I don't see nobody else is saying everything had favored Melody. How is something gonna favor Melody when we showing Melody trying to light up this man's house with that lighter fluid and hitting this man with a bat and golf clubs, and I mean doing some stuff. So how is that going to favor Melody? Make it make sense.
I have no idea. And the strange part about it, they feel like nobody should support Martell. Martell should have no support. Well, I got news for him. Martell got a whole lot of support. It's just a whole lot of people that are not going to speak up because they don't want to get ate up by her fans. I don't care what they say about me.
Yeah, it's just this sector that's going to say that. And the reason why they're going to say that because of the clicks and the likes. Like I said, don't come on here and click and like if you think that I'm going to go ahead and tickle your ears.
Yeah, because
and here, like I said, we going to call it as it is. You air it out, you are free game. And this is what Star said men are known for putting their hands on women all the time. It's interesting how the tables have turned because the Most High God is exposing them. What God is doing right now, he's bringing them to open shame because this Me Too movement have gotten us so messed up. And like I said, I am a woman, but I know, trust me, we could do some things. And soon the minute we don't have our way, we want to cry foul.
Yeah, women can be as physically abusive as men, especially now, as men can be. And men are ashamed to say that they're a woman. On them. A lot of men are ashamed to say it. They'll take that beating or take that cursing out of them scratches or glasses and brooms being thrown at them. And they might tell their good buddy, but they're not going to put it out on the open air, on the internet. They got beat up by their woman. No, it's too embarrassing.
Yeah. And Star says she's team woman all day, right or wrong. Well, like I said, not maybe back then in Star era. So I'm going to give Star, I'm going to go ahead and give you a pass, okay?
Well, I know I'm older than Star. I know I'm 67.
Hey, girl, misbehave. How are you doing, girl?
I'm doing fine. Hi, Miss Lady D. Hi, Logical. And
hello.
And I think it was Starbucks Lover. Now, ladies, I am on my cell phone and I may have to mute because I'm with my son.
Okay.
But I am so glad Nicole came and left a comment in my left your channel, the name of your channel, Miss Lady D. Oh, I love y'all both and all three of you. You two ladies.
We love
and
you.
what and
Shout
Miss Judy had
Nicole.
me.
Shout out to Nicole. Thank you, Nicole.
And Miss Judy, the millimeter. Boy, you all ladies had me cracking up. I enjoyed
Judy
it.
had my throat hurting. Look, hold on one second. I see my girl is in the house, Donna Davis. Guys, give her a shout out. She always support me. She never come in the comments, but she always support me.
Oh, hello, Donna.
Well, hello, Miss Donna.
And guys, make sure you go and check out Misbehaving is Fun. If you want to go ahead and drop your link, you are welcome to drop your link. But guys, go over to her channel because she is non-biased as well. She's gonna speak her truth.
Well, Miss Lady D. Look, I don't know how to drop no link. I barely know how to go live.
I'm learning myself, but I'm already subscribed to Misbehavior. I don't know if you see me in your comments because
I, I, I didn't know that was you until the other day. I said, "Oh, that's the same logical speeds."
that's me. I've been in your comments for a minute.
Look, and them daggone millimeters, they tear me up, but I'm battle tested and battle ready.
Yes, it did.
We stand 10 toes down in our stuff. We are all 100% women, okay?
Right. Look, I come from the tribe of I might cuss you out this morning, but I'm gonna hug and pray on you and cook you something to eat later on.
Me too.
That's it. We don't take this
Lady
seriously.
D is a religious minded woman, and I try my best to watch my speech, watch my
Hmm.
tone, and make sure I don't curse. Because I'm one of them too. I'll cuss you out in a minute. But I try to respect her and stay as positive as I can and still get my point across without cursing. Every now and then a little something slip, and I tell her that I apologize because I want
Oh,
to her channel.
right.
Look, I want
Oh,
to ask Misbehavior. I want to ask. I got a question, and then after you answer the question, I want Logic. I want you to answer the same question, right?
Okay.
okay,
We
okay.
already know that we can see something in someone else's eyes, but we can't see nothing in our own eyes, right?
Right.
I want you guys to tell me, what's the difference between Melody went out and cheated while she was still married and Martell and Ariane. Can you tell me the difference?
Okay. Originally, see, I was under the impression that once they separated, Martell had cheated. Melody moved out of the house with the kids and they had their own place to stay. So, although they were not divorced, they were no longer living under the same roof. So, if she developed a relationship at that point, I did not consider it cheating.
Mhm.
But then once she went back home, and then it continued. I mean, men are the last to know when women are cheating. I mean, we know how to hide our stuff
Oh, yeah.
well. So, but I had never been on board with the she was cheating. I had never fallen in line with the well, she was cheating too, because I was still with that mindset. Well, they weren't together. Whatever she did when she was living in a separate home, that was her. However, this season, when she kept making she made the comment. She was married for for all those years, and she never had an orgasm, even though she had 4 children. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Then she must have been getting some on the side, because I don't know no woman in her right mind, if the man is mistreating her at home and she's unhappy, and you're not sexually satisfying her, she's gonna stand by you and be loyal unless she getting something on the outside too.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, what about you, Lodge? And well, before we started, we got someone came on
Okay.
saying how I feel. Okay, so you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Say how I feel.
Yes, ma'am. How y'all doing?
Doing great.
Yeah.
Can you hear me well? Is everything okay?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like me to just mute myself until y'all are done giving y'all
Yes,
opinion?
yes, yes.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then after Lodge, then you can go ahead. Okay.
Okay. Yes,
So
ma'am.
again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D. Like I said, I don't know these people from a can of paint. You air it out. You are free game. Okay. So go ahead, Lodge.
Okay, I'm gonna make this real quick. When it comes down to cheating, to me, if you're married, if you're not divorced, and you have any type of intimate relationship with someone outside of your partner, it's cheating, whether it's the female or the male. Even if you're separated, to me, in my mindset, if you're having intimate relations with someone else, you're actually, in my mind, cheating on your spouse. I believe he cheated and I believe she cheated. I believe that from the beginning. Being a female myself, who was cheated. I was cheated on, and what I call revenge cheat. I did the same, even though it didn't last until these years like my husband did. But I did get, I was lonely, and when I met a man, and yeah, I cheated. So yeah, I believe she cheated.
Okay. Okay. I see that misbehaved. She must have dropped. Girl, put your seatbelt on and come back up here. Okay, saying how I feel. Go ahead and speak.
How y'all doing? I hope you're having a good night.
Yes.
I think that if they were sitting in front of the Lord, I don't think that they would be coming up with excuses as to why which sin was harder or which one was weighed heavier than the other. I think God would see them
Absolutely.
both in the wrong. So I'm kind of confused and perplexed as to how many women that call themselves followers of God and also followers of her, which is a contradiction because it's coming off as idolatry, the way that they follow this woman. It's amazing to me how they can come up with excuses for such things when if they know if they were in front of their God, our God, and they had to talk about that, God wouldn't say, "Well, he cheated first, so that means it's okay." You know what I mean? It would have been, it would be viewed as wrong in both sides, right?
I agree.
I feel like I used to call myself a millimeter. I used to go hard, because, being in a household where you see people have been disrespected by their significant others and the pain that is caused, it strikes a chord within you and you feel a sympathy for that person. But as I grew and I became more of a woman, I became a mother myself, I realized there were certain things where I realized these are two people that are deeply flawed, no different from me because we all have flaws.
Right.
And the problem that I had was their fixation on tearing others down,
Yes.
attacking. Martell's not perfect, and I'm not condoning his behavior, but I think people need to realize the way you're operating about a show and the way you have this hatred and vitriol in your spirit about someone who didn't even do you wrong. You're going to have to answer to God for this nonsense that you're doing on a YouTube channel. I don't think
Absolutely.
they understand that. And I don't think they understand that having this hatred for a person who didn't even do this against you, I don't think that's worth it. I don't think you committing idolatry and following a person just because you seen them get hurt on a TV show and worship them to the point where you feel like no one can have a negative opinion of them. But Jesus Christ was nailed on the cross and had a
Mhm.
negative opinion of him, and he was perfect. So I'm trying to figure out, where do these people have this misconstrued view of this person to where they can attack others, bring others down, judge people as if they're God, and then talk about God in the same breath? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. That's it. And that's why the Most High God is bringing them to open shame, because what they are doing is they lifting one up to tear down another.
And I
And
don't like
you
that.
can't do that,
No.
because what goes around come around, and what you are doing, and I talk about it all the time on my platform, when you start handling yourself, because revenge is mine, says the Lord, right?
Hmm.
So when you start handling yourself, then what you do, you start tying up God's hands, right?
Yeah, because God had a different plan. God has a different plan than us, and sometimes the punishment that He's going to give that person would be more just than what you call yourself trying to do. And I
Absolutely.
feel like how this is being handled has, from the beginning to now, has nothing to do with God and never had anything to do with God. It's just
No,
that
no.
someone saw a group and a demographic of people and they capitalized off of it.
That's
Because
all it
at the
was
end
about,
of the day, if you
Paolo.
believe in God, you don't need to activate a fan base. If you believe in God, you don't need to use others to tear others down. If you believe in God, if you saw your fan base getting to a point where they're obsessive and they're hurting or talking about others simply because you and them don't get along, you would speak out and say, "Hey, I don't move like that, and I don't want you to move like that if you truly are a person that support me." You know what I mean? But all that
Absolutely.
has been from the beginning to the end is chaos and confusion. And I'm going to say this, when I look back at it, and they've talked about it, and people can correct me, but from the beginning, when they first started the show, they weren't even together.
Mhm.
I believe they were separated, and I can be corrected if I'm wrong.
You're
I'm
right.
okay with
You're
that.
right. Absolutely. Of what
And
we heard out there, we heard the same thing. We only can go by what we
he
hear.
said, "I'm going to protect you." She found out that he was cheating on her again, and they were, she was just done. And I think to myself, why is a show this important that instead of going to a counselor or seeking counselship by your church leader or your pastor, you rather be put in front of a camera and then spew all that is wrong within your family dynamic and think that's going to make the situation better? I don't think that's a positive thing. I don't think that was the right route, but that wasn't the movement. It again, it wasn't a movement that was called by God. It was a movement that was called by someone who wanted to be on TV and wanted
That's it.
that fame and thought that that fame could only be attained through this way. You know what I'm saying?
And,
That's it.
And
and she's making money off of it.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's to me, I'm not. I think she's a beautiful young lady.
I do
I
too.
think that she's a good mom. I think that she's a great businesswoman.
I do
But
too.
could you imagine if God judged her the same way she tried to hold people to judge him? You're using all these people to attack a person because of what he did to you. You
Absolutely.
need to and I'm new in my walk with Christ because that's what opened my eyes of how demonic. And I know that I sound crazy saying this, but this show is demonic.
Oh yeah.
And
Absolutely.
the dynamic between those two is highly demonic, and the following of one is highly demonic. And
It
you
is.
can
And
call me any when they say Scorpio. Anytime I hear people talk about horoscopes and they talking about that ain't of God. He ain't
absolutely.
named you none of that. He named you your name and your birthday. It just happens to be your birthday. Now you're attaching yourself to a demon and the traits of that demon, and you're saying that's a part of who you are. That's not a God.
No.
But then
Absolutely.
they use that. There's so many things that show signs that this has nothing to do with God. This is
Absolutely.
somebody that is showing, honestly, to me, how easily people can be strayed.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't
Absolutely.
even realize, I didn't realize how bad I was sinning. I didn't realize how I was idolizing a woman on TV because I saw her go through the same thing my mother went through.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
it doesn't and then when you look back at certain scenes, someone said this, I think it was you, Miss Lady D. You were talking about, or no, I think it was, I forgot the woman's name, but when they were talking about Letitia, and people would use that talking point over and over again about how she said she wanted to give her the blueprint. And when I was on lives, I used to say that all the time.
Oh,
How
that.
dare you get mad about the blueprint? How dare you this and that? But think of it as a woman and step
Hmm.
outside the show and step outside the characters and how you relate to or how you like that character. And be honest with yourself. If you were sitting across from a woman that you know only got back on a TV show, just only got back in her relationship to be on a TV show, then turned around and was in a faulty marriage that was falling
Hmm.
apart and was using that as a storyline and sitting across from you talking about how they could help you.
Wow.
Tell
And
me
she's a
how
strong
you
woman,
would
and she's
react
supposed to be a
as a
strong
woman.
woman.
As a
Yes.
woman, I want women to be honest with themselves. How would you react if you're looking, my marriage ain't perfect,
Hmm.
but me and my husband are good over here, but I know your situation is 10 times worse than mine, and you think because you have materialistic things that you can teach me something?
Yeah.
What are you
Absolutely.
talking about? Teach yourself. How about you go to a counselor, go to God, pray or something? You don't need to be disrespecting me in my own face. But if that had not been her saying it, and it would have been a different circumstance and a different environment, these women would see clearly at how other people would take it disrespectfully of what she
Mhm.
was saying to them. Because how you going to tell me you're going to give me the blueprint when your blueprint ain't even working for you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's like the blind leading the
It,
blind. How can
it
that
doesn't.
happen?
Yeah.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
can that happen? They both gonna end up in the ditch, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
And to me, I don't think people have closely watched. It's amazing, and people, and it's the truth. It is trauma bonding.
Mhm.
It is
That's all it is.
amazing what trauma bonding can do to you.
Yep.
When you have been hurt the same way someone has been hurt, or you have witnessed that hurt, sometimes we put blinders to all the rest of that, and
Absolutely.
we just focal point on it. And you know what would not be issue with me? If these groups of people would, if they call themselves supporters of her, why not just buy her product? Why not
Thank
just
you.
support her and love her music? Why do you have to tear other people's businesses down?
Absolutely.
Why do you need to tear other women down? And yet you're a woman, right? You're a real woman. If you think about it, technically she was a pick me as well, but she was
Absolutely.
forced her hand. Her hand was forced. And if she could be with this man, I bet you 100% she would still be with him
Yeah.
if it had not been the backlash that would come with it. So
Welcome
I
back.
feel like sometimes that's why there's so much anger there. There's still an animosity
Yeah.
because she's looking at him, his stupid. You know, I don't like how you're moving. You're doing these stupid things. If only you would have just gave this dumb girl up and this stupidity, we would still be moving and shaking like how we were doing before. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But it's amazing how people are so blind to the obvious. Like when Kiki was brought on the show, that was just a move and a maneuver to bring in someone to say that the other girl was getting cheated on.
Absolutely.
That's
That
it.
was all that
We
was
talked
for.
about
Thank
that.
you.
We
Thank
talked about all that.
But I'm gonna tell you something. When I saw my mother go through what she went through, I had family members because you know we all know the mess in our family.
Yeah, we do.
I have aunties and uncles that have been married for years that has been disrespected worse than what my mother has gone through. And my mother has never stepped foot or opened her mouth on other people's marriages because she said, that's them. That's their marriage. And that's a vow that they made. I'm not going to try to break that vow. I decided I didn't want to be in my marriage anymore. But
Right.
when you're mad about something not going the way you wanted or intended it to go, you then turn around and lash out and try to spread that hate around
Yeah.
to make others miserable. And that's the only reason why Kiki was brought into the show and thrown away.
Absolutely.
Destiny was her rough dog until Destiny didn't do her job anymore, and she started being friends with other people as well. It's people need to, and no one's saying that she's a bad person, but people need to call a spade a spade.
So do you think that Kiki should come back, to give a second chance because she was not able to tell a story because
I
Mel
don't
made
even
it
think
all about
Kiki
her?
wanted to tell her story. I think Kiki
You don't
did
think so?
her job, and I think she knew what she was meant to do on that show. And I think she was burning two ends at the middle. You know what I mean? And
So
if
you
she
think she
wants to
messed it
do
up?
that, that's on her. But I don't think that
Yes.
show is good for anybody's mental health. I really applaud the others for even being on that show.
I agree.
And one more thing before, because I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm sorry if I've been holding it too much, y'all.
Go
If
ahead.
I was on the cast, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't film with her. It wouldn't even be that I would not be on the show. I'm not giving that up. I'm not filming with you. I'm not going to film with you. I'm not going to give you an opportunity to get your fan base to try to twist something I've said or something I've done or take me having a normal human response to some BS that you might be trying to do to me. And then you think that you're going to tear my business and my something I built up because I'm not kissing your butt. I simply would not film with her. And then we would see how many people would want to see them being filmed. How many times she would be able to be filmed.
Absolutely.
She won't have a storyline without Martell, and that's why I say if Martell come back, I would sign some kind of papers, where a cease or desist, where she couldn't even mention my name. She couldn't even utter my name on that show, just like he took his kids away.
I agree. The entire cast should refuse to film with her. You know, I wouldn't either.
Yeah,
It's a liability to their brands, in my opinion.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a liability simply because she does not agree with them or don't like them, or because someone doesn't. Let me tell you something. For these women to call themselves followers of Christ, do you know Jesus Christ never sinned? He never did anything to anybody, and they persecuted him. They lied on his name. They questioned his miracles. Jesus didn't say, let me activate my apostles. Jesus didn't say, let me call up God and smite all y'all right now. Even when he was on the cross, he didn't kill anybody. So what I'm trying to understand is, how do y'all think no one can have a negative opinion of her?
Because they put on a pedestal.
How would y'all judge God if God had to judge her on Judgment Day? Y'all gonna come for God?
That's
They
my
put on a
note.
You know
pedestal.
what I'm saying? Like, it's the delusion for me, and it's the not like, you have people in this chat right here. that's talking all this smack. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to a chat. I'm not watching a video of something I don't like or talks about something that I like in a negative way. But
Absolutely.
because they're so obsessed, and because they're so, could you imagine if they put that much time into the Bible? If they put that
Absolutely.
much time into the Word, then maybe the Lord would open their eyes to see the same thing everybody else is seeing, that's not idolizing her.
Well,
Absolutely.
those people have a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. So let's see what misbehave. What do you have to say?
Okay. Shove, lovely young lady.
Absolutely.
Very great.
Well,
Um,
well said.
I like, just like you stated earlier, Lady D, when this show first came on, I know for me, I was rooting for Melanie because I know there are some millimeters listening to this. I was married, I was cheated on, I left my husband, I've had money stolen from me, and there was nothing I could do about it because we were married. And I was also in an abusive marriage. And what I did is packed up, got a bag for me, one bag for me and each child. And I left. I left everything behind. And when I watched this show, I felt for Melody because I was under the impression, like maybe so many others, that this was something new. This affair. I was unaware that this was something that was years, that had been going on for years. And then there would be certain things that Martell will do. I cannot recall which season it was, but I remember when Melody moved into the new house, and then Martell popped up over there, and he
Yeah.
got to yelling, and it startled me because of my situation. It made me uncomfortable, and I said, "Well, I don't understand, why do they have her filming with him?" That was my thought process, not thinking about how we're not privy to everything. We don't know what happened before that camera came on and how they may have edited it.
Mhm.
I noticed 2 seasons ago, remember when they went down to Florida?
Okay.
So when they went down to Florida, that's when I started noticing a change. Uh, to me, it was as if she was trying to blame Miss Marlene. And I don't like when people try to blame the parents for something that their children do.
Yeah.
Or, um, and I'll give you all the instances. They were on the yacht, and she was mentioning to Miss Marlene about Martell getting counseling, because of people bullying him. And Miss Marlene said, "Well, no, that is, whining." And Martell said, "Well, he never told his mother that he was being bullied." But to me, her facial and when I say she, I'm talking about Melody. Her facial expression and the way she was interacting with Miss Marlene, it was as if, she's trying to put her on Front Street and blame her, or make it look like as if, well, you didn't do anything to help your son. That's why he turned out this way.
I remember that.
When Miss Marlene, to me, I firmly believe that everyone has been through something through their childhood. They've survived it, they've overcome it, and they're better. They've learned a lesson from it, and some are still stuck there. But you don't know what Miss Marlene had gone through. She was working 2 jobs. She, trying to make ends meet. At one point, Melody tried to make it seem as if Miss Marlene's mother was the one raising Martell and his brother, and Miss Marlene said no, she was raising her own, but her mother was helping her. But if you all go back to season 5, that's when they went to Destin, Florida. If you guys even look back at several of those episodes, the body language and the reaction of Miss Van, for instance, how Melody was dressed, very sexy. Well, if you don't want Martell, you're not that's like leading him on, giving him the impression that you all are getting back together. But I'm gonna go back to the yacht scene when Melody was bringing that up about Martell being picked on. Miss Van wanted the whole subject ended. We're all family, we're here now, and so forth. Melody went from being a victim to me to being a predator, because Now you want your lick back. Now you're doing things. Do you all remember the scene where Tisha and Marcel came and they were sitting in the chair talking
Yeah.
and playing the game, which parent is what? And then it was something about going on a golf cart, and Melody said, "No, we all did that." Martell's expression in that moment, he went from smiling and being giddy to just sad. And she said, "What's wrong with you, Martell?" Well, she knows that Martell loves her, and to me, this was just my impression, that she knows how to reel him back in with this false hope that they'll get back together, so she can get a reaction out of him, because she knows if she turns him away, he's going to explode.
So do
So
you think that they sacrificed Martell in order to lift Melody up?
yes, I do. I do.
I
And
agree.
and I'm one of those persons, I don't like to see a person picked on, like, everybody piling on, and it seemed like you're just drowning, no one's trying to help you. They don't realize that those comments that they make, like, and they probably do realize it, to keep saying Melody was the brains. He only had the money, he's missing Melody because of the money, he can't be the big man around town. Well, when this show first started, Martell was the one said he had to talk Melody into leaving her job as a teacher for
Absolutely.
them to become entrepreneurs. I believe that, and he's admitted, and they've shown it on Love in Huntsville, that Martell isn't comfortable speaking in front of a crowd. Melody is a natural. So
Yeah.
yes, she may have been and I don't mean any disrespect when I say this. She may have been the brains, meaning, she's going to talk to people. She's the spokesperson. She comes out and deals with everyone. Where Martell was in charge, and he led the hands-on, the building,
Absolutely.
dealing with the
Absolutely.
employees and the
Absolutely.
contractor. So they were a successful unit.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah. They
Yes.
were a great team. Yeah.
So I know Marcel, he may have been joking, but he made the comment on one of the seasons. I guess we do know who was the brains of the company. Well, all of these little digs against Martell, it affects him emotionally
Yeah.
and physically. People don't psychologically, I shouldn't say physically, psychologically. What people don't realize, it's like poking a bear. If you know something
Absolutely.
is going to a wasp nest, let me use that as an example. Everybody that sees a wasp nest, if you mess with it, those wasps are going to come out and they're going to sting you. To
Absolutely.
me, a person that's been the victim of abuse, whether male or female, if you know that a person, what will trigger them and set them off, you try to avoid doing it because you don't want to be harmed. Me, per se, I have PTSD. When men raise their voice, I'm looking for a weapon. I don't engage with them to argue back and forth. I don't do anything to be hit, and I'm not going to put my hand on anybody else, because I know I can't whoop a man, and I know I got to take you out. I'm going to take you out. So I don't engage at all. But to sum it all up, it's because so many people are picking on Martell, and they're trying to make Melody look as if she's innocent, and she's not. She silently whistles that dog whistle, and I hate to say dog whistle,
Absolutely.
but
You right.
anytime she fires up that Instagram or send that alert, it's like the bat signal for those millimeters. She first, there's some sort of I don't want to say trauma, I don't want to say the word. There's something traumatizing that has happened to her. She's being victimized in some way, and shortly after, there's a product being sold. It's like Pavlov, that little dog experiment where they would ring the bell and the dog would salivate because he thinks the steak is coming. Make Melody the victim. Shoot up that Instagram, which he keeps the name Melody S. Holt. If he's such a scum of the earth, he's so traumatizing, you're happy to have your last name Rogers back. Why do you keep using the last name Holt? And it's not because I don't want to hear that you've had it for years and you would lose money. She has a devoted fan base that will follow her anywhere because they will buy anything that she sells. I firmly believe she purposely keeps that name Melody S. Holt because not only does she know that there's name recognition and value in that last name Holt, but she uses it to antagonize Martell. You get up
Absolutely.
on the show and say he's scum and he's broke, he can't feed the kids, he's homeless, he's moved 5 times, but you still want to do business and communicate with your fan base using that Instagram with the last name Holt.
Absolutely misbehaved. So, guys, make sure you go ahead and check out her channel. So, what you got to say about all that, Lodge?
Well, I have a question. I have been cheated on. Lady D has been cheated. How many women willingly want to be around a man or choose to be around a man that's abusing them, has cheated on them, disrespects them? You want to distance yourself from that person. I know that's what I did, but she makes
Say it again.
Effort. She makes it an effort to stay on this show when she has her own network. She don't have to be on that show. According to her fans, she's a multi-millionaire. She don't need the money. So why is it that she wants to be around her so-called abuser? I mean, it makes no sense to me.
May I make a comment to that too?
Yes, dear.
Yes, ma'am.
And I apologize if I interrupted, but I do have to say this. I felt like with the last season, I feel like we missed a lot. I feel bad that we didn't see Stormy's party, first of all.
Yeah.
Why was that exchanged for a coffee visit? That was dumb. But we got to see a name change party that no one cared about. To me, that's how you know it's catering to a certain person. But I think it's because of fear of the fan base. I don't think they know exactly how big that fan base is, but they know they're loud. You know what I'm saying? I want to say this. For a person that didn't want to be around that said ex on a previous trip in Houston, didn't even want to be around them, couldn't trust them, why are you wearing your best Fashion Nova Freakum dress and you're dressed up like that to go to a coffee shop to tell him that you don't want to be around him? Everybody was talking about him wearing the ring and everybody was talking about him having the flowers, but no one spoke about the fact that she even engaged with him and entertained him. Like, we really wasted a really good season finale episode that could have been. I really wanted to see that party.
Yes.
To freaking see her sit across somebody that we've been see them sit across from each other and say hateful things to each other. Why are we watching this? Is this for record so the children can watch later on and be like, man, I just admire how my parents used to really fight so hard on TV in front of national television for some ratings. And this is not even, it's to a point where it's stale and it's redundant and it's annoying, but no one questions, why are you in the face of a person who dropped revenge P on you? And engaging with them in a coffee shop? Why are you doing
And then she came out in the rain.
And you doing all this with that dress on? You was about to take a flight. You going to take a flight like that? What's going on? But nobody questions that. I guess because not everybody has the functionings of a brain.
And 97 WKR say I think they are showing the party next season. Well, they should have showed it this season. Why do you got to wait next season?
Because you know why? Because that party's big, and they probably waiting for her to turn around and have something that shows her fan base being just as large, if not larger, than that young lady's. To take away,
it's probably
that's all that is.
Do you guys think she has a huge fan base? A huge fan base in the thousands? I don't.
I think
so. Miss Logical.
Huh? Was that
Logical? Miss Logical, you better stop. You got me over here laughing. I love you.
I'm serious. I'm absolutely serious. I don't think her fan base is as huge as she would like people to think it is. You know, I just don't. I think it may be in the range of, so in the thousands, I would say, less than 10,000, way less than 10,000. And I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna.
You don't think it's more? You don't think it's more than that, Miss Logical?
No, ma'am. I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm gonna see if you guys can resonate with this.
Okay.
Now she's had 7th Avenue. I think that's the name of her cosmetic line. She's been packaging those orders out of her, I would say, basement for a couple of years. And she may have 30 to 100 packages, maybe even 200. If her fan base was in the hundreds of thousands or even 20,000, if she had 20,000 20,000 solid fan base, she wouldn't be able to be in that basement packaging those orders. She
by
might
herself.
sell her house if she had 20,000 fans that were buying her products, and they all say they buy her products, but she has a couple of hundred at a time, but not nowhere in the thousands. I mean, it makes sense to me. I don't think she has a huge fan base.
Okay.
So I have a question. Guys. With what Tasha K has showed the clips of Mel went ahead and put lighter fluid on Martell's furniture and hitting him with a bat and golf clubs. Do you think that charges should be brought against Mel? Go ahead, say it how I feel, and then you can go ahead, misbehave and lodge. Do you think that charges should be filed against Mel?
I think he should have pressed charges sooner. But I don't know if the statutes of limits. I don't know the laws out there if he can.
Alabama is 5 to 10, and according to what Lodge said, and we're gonna say allegedly, it was like happened 2 or 3 years ago, right, Lodge?
It seemed to be within the last 3 to 4 years. They saw her haircut when she was in the garage. She was still wearing the bob. That was about 4 years ago. And when she was spreading the lighter fluid, she had then kind of moved off into the wig era, the full wig era. But it still seems to me to be within the last 3 to 4 years when all of that happened. I think Martell said it was in 22 when that happened. We're in 24, 21 or 22. It hasn't been more than 5 years. I don't even think Sugar Mama was born when all of that went on.
If it's within the statutes, I would press charges. I think if people want it, because everybody's doing stuff late, why not?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Technically, if we're not being mean, we've been knew about the revenge. Because I used to be a follower of hers until I gave my life to Christ, and I actually got common sense within my spirit. I even questioned that. I was like, why would you now press charges? Not saying that she shouldn't have, but why now after he had got the suit deal, he had the charade thing, he had the magazine cover. You waited that long after the fact, and I think it's just punishment to get back. So if he want, they should might as well be petty. He might as well be as petty as her, I guess. You know what I mean?
Let me answer. Hold on 1 second. Let me answer Miss Lee. She said this discussion is interesting. The panel are talking about judgment and bringing people down, and they are doing exact same thing. No, we only can talk about what they put out. Like I say, this is the year of open shame, and nobody is going to get away with anything. And also, the Bible says that the saints going to be the ones that's going to judge the house first. So we're not tearing down, and if we are tearing down, we building back up, right, guys?
Yeah, I don't think it's tearing down because we said even Martell is wrong in certain actions.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying is, you're not going to sit up here, Miss Lily, and act as if Melody has never done anything wrong.
That's what we're saying.
And we're not going to sit up here and get butthurt because we're not doing what y'all do on a position. You go to her altar every day. And on someone's panel, and you worship her. And I wonder how many times you got on your knees and prayed to the Lord. I wonder how many times you asked him for forgiveness. And the same forgiveness you ask is the same forgiveness you can't give to someone who hasn't even done nothing to you in the first place. It's calling out behavior that's not right. No one's saying that she's not a talented woman. No one's saying that she's not a pretty woman. No one's saying that she doesn't have a good business. I'm not calling her out on any of that. I'm saying there's certain actions that she does that is messed up. And girl, whatever you say, why are you listening to a video or people talking that's imbalanced?
That's it.
What double-minded do you have? How double-minded are you? And how much chaos? That's how you know they're fed off of chaos and they like confusion. Because why would you sit here as an adult, as a working brain adult, sit down and listen to stuff that you don't like to hear about somebody that you like so much?
Absolutely.
I want to understand what's going on in the brain of that one. That's what I want to know. What's going on there?
Miss Lady D.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say it as it is. Miss Lady
what? I'm the
D.
president of the United States too, Miss Lily. We can all say what we want to say on the internet, huh, baby? I bet you got 15 degrees and you done met Mother Teresa 14 times, right?
Go ahead, Miss Behave.
Would Miss Lily like to come up here so she can give an
she's welcome to come on. She's welcome to come on. Like I said, we all can agree to disagree. No one should keep it respectful, because one thing about us, we're not jealous over people we do not know. They put it out, they air it out, they are free game. That's it. That's how I look at it.
Right.
Okay, so what's your thoughts about it? Do you think that Melody, because Martell says she pulled up some receipts over 2 years ago and went and got a warrant on him. Do you think that Martell, should go ahead and file charge? Which, what I think, especially when it comes to arson, I think the DA going to pick that up. They're going to pick that up.
Well, because she did what she did, I say yes. I am petty. They call me petty. And has she not? Look, let me be very transparent. Has she not openly admitted?
Hold on 1 second. Hold your thought.
Okay.
Lily, you could come up. I dropped the link. So if you think that we are being one-sided, we are opening up this panel so you could tell your side. Maybe we might not see what you see. Okay. Go ahead, Misbehave.
Okay. And it's a welcoming space, Miss Lily, because Miss Judy was on, and we can disagree and laugh. And
girl, I had a good time with Miss Judy.
Yeah, I don't know where. I wish you could find it. You know what? It's another millimeter too. She's older, Miss Way. Ooh, I love her. Her and somebody else was going back and forth in my comment, but it was a classy banter, baby. They was going back and forth, and I loved it. And not once did they call each other out their name, but I love it.
Miss Judy was here. I mean, she was riding hard. Miss Judy was riding hard for Melody. I mean, Miss Judy had my throat hurting so bad. I said, Lord, I pray, please let Logical come. Before you know it, Logical came on.
And that's what makes everything so great. We should be able to have a difference in opinion and respectfully, disagree. And then I love that. So Lily, please think about it, ma'am. Come up here. I promise you.
We won't bite.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna bite. I like beef.
Okay, she said, look, answer this right here. She said it's not arson. She didn't start a fire. Oh, okay. Well, it could have happened. She had that lighter in her hand. Wasn't that a lighter? She had the lighter
she had
in
one
one
of the
hand,
lighters
and she had the flicker light, whatever that was, lighter in the other hand. So she could have just, made a mistake and just squeezed it, and all that gas, that whatever that was on her hands, it could explode.
Absolutely.
The whole entire house could explode.
Well, Mr. Shar, you're not going to like what I'm going to say, ma'am, but I think Martell, going to press those charges, because Melody was happy as a bug in a rug when she said she knew that warrant. The warrant was signed by the magistrate back in 2022, and her attorney told her, now this is coming out of her mouth, her admitting it. Her attorney told her they know Martell's address. They can call up the PI so that they can go and pick him up. Melody said no. She held on to that. She said she believed in divine timing. So in her mind, divine timing.
Go ahead.
So in her mind, divine timing was, if he do one more thing that pisses me off, I'm gonna make sure that he gets arrested with no care in the world about her children, because she could have had him arrested before the kids were in his care.
Your
So
mic, Lodge, your
who
mic,
is that?
Lodge, your mic is moving.
Oh, baby, I'm sorry.
Okay. What I think it was, want me to tell you what I think, Ms.
Uh-huh.
Behave? I
Yeah.
think that she went ahead and tried to assassinate his character because she knew that
Yes.
Martell wanted to tell, his real life story. And, it's going to be a part of Ariane and a child. So I think that she did all that, just to keep him from coming on the shore. So that's why we in this spot right now.
Can I
You think
say
she did? I
something?
think she did because she didn't want it, Martell to bring Ariane on.
Okay.
And my thing is, I don't see why I mean, y'all talked about it the whole time. She should have been able to come on. I know she doesn't have a problem with mistresses because she's good friends with Portia Williams from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I thought wives that were cheated on, we all supposed to stick together. So since Melody Cherie Rogers broke that covenant between wives, I decided to go ahead and say goodbye. Let
Absolutely.
Ariana on.
That's it. And what did Melody say? She said, when they go low, she take it to hell, right? Did Melody say that? That's how that
That's
when
what
they
she
go low, she
said.
take it to hell. So knock knock. Guess who behind that door? Your worst nightmare, Ariane.
My question is, ladies, I don't understand how her fans feel like she has a right to voice her issues, but Martell does not. He has to be quiet. He has to just take it. I don't get it. He has a right to express what happened to him in the marriage, just like she has a right to express what happened to
Absolutely.
her. He has a right, and his fans have a right to. Well, I'm not a fan, but I do support Martell. I used to be a Melody supporter until she went against the entire cast and
Yeah.
actually I'm gonna say sent her minions out to destroy the rest of the cast, and that's when I turned against her. Not really
Uh-huh.
against her, but I'm in more support of him than I am of her.
Mhm.
Well, look, can I just say this real quick? Speaking
Go
of her
ahead.
supporters, Miss Black Titanic came into one of my comment sections.
Uh-huh.
And oh God, I wish I could find the comment. I would have to go through it, but basically, I'm paraphrasing. But she said, "How could I judge somebody based off a reality show?" And I don't know them.
Mm-mm-mm.
And I said, "Very interesting
Oh,
comment coming from you, ma'am. Considering you showed up unannounced and uninvited to Stormy
Absolutely.
Steele's business, Canvas Girl Beauty, to the warehouse." I watched
Absolutely.
that video in
I
real
did
time.
I did too.
I said, "What?"
I
And
was
Miss
so upset. I was so upset when I saw that. When I saw that lady went to
should have said
Stormy's building, I was so upset.
I was too. I
And
couldn't
I was
believe it.
traumatized by that
May
because
I ask a
of the stuff that
question?
happened to my business. Go ahead,
Could you
Sid.
imagine if someone said, if there was a video of Martell conducting himself the same way she was in that video, saying that was 4 years ago, get over it, we'd be pick-me's, right?
Okay.
Who?
Pick-me's. That's what you would say. You would say you're not standing with women. The hypocrisy and the biasness when it comes to the thought process. I don't know who thinks that I'm a supporter of Martell. I'm saying both of them are wrong, and no one seems to see the wrong that the other one's doing.
Absolutely.
That's the thing that gets me, is that y'all can tear down everybody else, but uplift another human being who pees and poops just like you, simply because she got
Absolutely.
cheated on. It's amazing to me. And then I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm in the twilight zone because just like how you said with the, none of these people know these people personally. They're coming up with storylines and extra narratives to to line why they are fascinated with this person in such an unhealthy manner. Like, why did you have to tear other people down to support her? Why do you have to harass other people? We shouldn't be knowing any of this mess that's going on between these two.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't know. Seriously, it's absolutely disgusting that they're tearing that family apart just for a storyline.
Absolutely. Okay, Miss 97.7, what you got?
How
Hello,
y'all doing?
97.7. Hi.
How are you?
Doing great.
All right. My comments. What the question was? What was? Say the question again.
Which one? We talked about so much.
No, the last question that you guys asked. The main question when you saying, should Martell file charges on Melody?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. On that point, I do think Melody was wrong for putting hands on Martell. We all know that men are, if they wanted to, are way stronger than women and could really do damage, right? So we know
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
wrong. But I also think if he presented just that video that he showed on Tasha K to the judge, she would want to see the whole video. What did he say? What was his actions? Before that, I think just from what we can see on the reality show and then what plays out on social media, I think the relationship was very toxic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct.
I'm sure both parties did some wrong in it. I think where the millimeters, I guess, or people who support male, whatever, I think why they go so hard for her because a lot of women have been in situations where the man did something wrong. And even on that reality show, the other castmates have been through it. You can tell, even if they won't admit it, you can see it. Martell has said it. Marceau grins when they bring it up. Maurice has a crazy reaction. Like, you can see they have been through it, but they might not want to show it, which is their choice. But also, when you go onto a reality show, of course, things are scripted, but the main point is to be transparent. And reality shows are messy. That's the part of entertainment. They're messy, so it's gonna be a lot of stuff that it's gonna rile people up, and it's gonna start conversations like this. But it's also a good to it because it start conversations like this, and that way people can have dialogue and converse about these situations and what's the right way to go about it or the wrong way to go about it. And I also wanted to hit on, okay, so since they've been divorced, when that first year, I do feel like, because even Mel had a scene with Kimmy where she was like, I wouldn't want my significant other hanging with a man who I knew was out here, cheating or whatever. Basically saying she don't think she should have Maurice hanging around Martell. I guess they went on another guy's trip.
Yeah, that was the second trip to Atlanta.
Yeah, I felt Mel was wrong in that situation, but I also knew where she was coming from. If you've ever been in a marriage for over 10 years, 4 kids, you're gonna be hurt. It's gonna take a while to get over that, and then you have to work with the same people who know the situation. They have literally hung out at a bar, went on trips with Arson, right? That's a lot. I don't know many people who could do that. And I know you say, well, if she can't handle it, leave. But she literally created this show. She literally took it to Carlos King with her husband.
No, ma'am. This isn't the show that she brought to Carlos.
Right.
They brought
It's not the show, but it's the same. It's not the concept, but it's the show.
97. Can I ask a question if that's okay?
Yes, ma'am. Please.
What brought me out is like the people forget the pick-me tendencies that Melody had. It's just that he forced her hand and she had to leave him because she was embarrassed on the national television, right? She was blaming everybody else for Martell's actions the first season. And she was quick to talk about how everybody else's husband was getting cheated on, and he told her all this. And it was okay for her to be smiling in their face knowing that their husbands was cheating on them. But when it was done to her, all of a sudden she's a victim. And that's the type of hypocrisy I don't understand when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying?
But
Because how is it that
but
he's a grown man, but it was everybody else he was hanging around that was the problem? And when she had the ammo to think that the other ones cheated on him, she was quick to rub it in the girls' faces, right? So I'm
Yeah,
trying to figure
someone say
out.
they hear some noise. So when someone's talking, guys, and if you want, go ahead and mute your mic since we got 3 people on, 4 people on. Go ahead and mute your mic, and the ones that's talking, and if you want to go ahead and jump on, then you unmute your mic. But go ahead and mute your mic. I'm gonna mute mine as well. So who has the mic? Who have the mic?
I was asking 97 because she was making good points, and
Okay,
I
all
agree
right.
with
So
her
I'm
as
gonna go ahead
well.
and mute my.
I was saying that when Melody found out that Martell, well, she already been knew he was cheating, but when she was on the show, she was blaming everybody else for his actions, right? No one called her a pick me then. And then when she was trying to throw in other women's face that their significant others had cheated on them with the fuel that Martell gave them, nobody thought she was dirty like how they thought Letitia was when Letitia did the same thing to her. It's that Letitia had receipts and she didn't. It's just hypocrisy when it comes to like seeing how she moves because to me, none of them are perfect. I'm not saying, oh, this person is good and this person's bad. We're all human beings. We all fall short. But what I'm not understanding is how everybody has blinders to the actions that she do and how wrong she is in certain ways, but no one calls it out. And if someone does, then all of a sudden they're demonized. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that second part that you said with the part with Letitia. The part on Melody as far as okay, you said she knew that she was being cheated on before the show started. That's true. Everybody has said that. Carlos said that. Everybody on the show said that's accurate. But it was also under the skies that Martell said he would stop seeing her, the other girl, and they were working on their relationship. And Carlos said in that thing that they just did in Huntsville, his little podcast thing, he said something about basically Mel told him that she didn't want to do it no more. Her relationship was a mess. It's gonna blow up in their face. And he was like, well, you're not gonna have another shot. It's on network. If this the field you want to be in, you need to go ahead and strike while it's hot or whatever. So that's that on that part, right? Okay. Now when it comes to how Mel started treating the other couples on there, that's why I said it's deeper. You have to be in it, I think, to understand it. Because I don't even really understand it, but I'm just going off the actions that I see. And I think if Marceau was calling Mel's sister and Martell bro, like that they had that close of a bond. If my husband had a friend and he was calling me sister and he was in my wedding or whatever, and he was going on trips with the other woman and buying her gifts, and that's a lot. So I think Mel, after she found out all of this, I think she was hurt. And I think hurt people hurt people. And even Marceau said that to Tisha when Tisha didn't accept Mel's apology. He said, you got to understand that hurt people hurt people. To me, Marceau understands Mel the most out of all the other couples because he know what went down. But that's all I had. That's all.
You're making sense though, 97. I have a question for the one who just said the Martell provoked Melody. Let's reverse it. And if it was Melody and Martell was waving a bat or putting gasoline on the ground, would we say her words might have provoked him to do so? And would we be as just as understanding if it was the shoe on the other foot? Like at all. I'm not understanding the mentality of the people that we're adults. But I agree with you, 97. I'm going to tell you this from my opinion. For how long it was going on and how painful it was, there is no amount of fame that is worth me tearing my family when I know that we're in a fragile situation as is right there at that moment.
Say it
You know
again.
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if I knew that we were already in a fragile space, why would I go into war with armor that's not up to par? You know what I mean? So at that point, you have to think about the person who made the decision. Why are you choosing a show over your family getting healed and better? You literally just saw that they were cheating because it was recently that it happened. Why would you think a TV show was going to change the position of that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm new to things. I haven't lived life as long as everybody else, and I know that
I
I'll learn. Hopefully, I
look.
don't
I
learn
have a
that.
question. I have a question for 97. Do you think the court of law going to worry about having all the clips when all they need to see Melody at that crime? What Melody did was when she poured gasoline and threatened to sit there and light that house on fire. That's all they need. She picked up a weapon. That was a weapon. And not only that, when she had the bat, she had the flower pot, she had the golf club threatening to hit him. And then I'm going to say allegedly, because I never saw this, but they say she threw a knife in a wall. So if Martell have tapes and videos and pictures of all that, and they can put her at that crime scene, Martell don't even have to file charges. The DA going to pick that up.
I think it depends on her defense. How many cases have we seen where a cop shoots a black man unarmed, and he has his hands up, and they have the video, and they play the video on social media, and still the cop doesn't get charged. And I know they're protected by immunity, but still, I'm just saying, in the court of law, if Melody's defense is, oh, he did this to me first, like you only see what's shown. There's no context. So if she had a good defense lawyer, I don't think it would be admissible.
What's shown? There's no. You could use the excuse of
hey guys, look, hold on 1 second. Hold on.
As a response to her, because
hold
you don't
on.
know what she might have said.
Whoever got the mic, hold on 1 second, guys. Whoever have the mic, everybody else mute, okay? Who have the mic now?
I was saying that if
who is I? Because I got
saying how I feel, and I'm gonna be quiet after this.
Okay, well you can go ahead and we gonna mute.
Yes, ma'am. My question is then, if that's the mentality that we're gonna use, then why then press charges against him? Because we don't know what she might have said to him to provoke him to say that to her and not actually do it. Instead, because he didn't even actually send out the revenge piece. She actually was doing these actions. So if it's a conversation, why did it get that deep and why did it go that far to where legal action was taken? If we're going to use
because that's not how revenge porn works. If you have a video, if you have a video and you send that video to someone else without consent, he sent it to Melody. Even if that's the other person in the video, go look at what revenge porn is. Go look up the law. I'm just saying, I'm not saying, I'm not taking sides. I'm just saying that's not how revenge porn works. Because even with these teenagers a lot, that's how the revenge porn law came about with these teenagers.
Don't use this. We have to use certain words on here, okay? Because of
I'm sorry. The RP.
So just say RP. And also, out of fairness for Martell said that he did not send no RP to anyone. It was some kind of pictures. So that's what Martell told Tasha K.
And I just want to say, it's me saying 97. I'm not condoning that he did that to her, but I'm saying off the same merit that you're using as, well, what did he say for her to put gasoline on the ground and come at him with a knife and come at him with a bat, physical things where it could have harmed him? If we can use that as an excuse, then he could then turn around and use the same excuse as, she said something to me to use this as a means to make her stop. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not condoning what he did, but how can we excuse her behavior, but then not use the same excuse for why he was, you know what I'm saying? If we can say,
I agree with you.
Almost hit him and almost stabbed him, and she ran out the house, and he said something to her, and that was good enough cause for her to physically harm him, then how are we going to say that he couldn't have had a good enough excuse of saying her saying something to him could have provoked him to actually engage in saying, I'm going to send this video out if you don't be quiet? You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying they're both wrong, but people tend to turn the narrative in favor of the person that they like. And when you are we see it for what it is. That's what I'm saying. Both of them are wrong. Both of them are toxic. Both of them should have never been on the show. They should have been in a counselor's house, because they both love each other. They have anger towards each other, and they're bitter towards each other, and they need healing. And this situation and how this is going on, I don't want nothing to happen to Melody. And I don't want nothing to happen to Martell, because there's 4 children that's in the balance between those two. And their lives are in the hang. Like, if my parents would have stayed in the same household just so they could keep up the image of being in a suburban lifestyle, I would have been in an orphanage, because my mother would have took my father's life, or my daddy would have took my mother's life. At some point, my mother had to walk away from me.
Yo, it's a mic that's jumping, guys. The mic. Hey, somebody need to mute their mic if they talking. And also, once you get finished talking, said we got Miss Judy Condor. She came on, so we're gonna give her a chance to talk.
I'm sorry about talking so much to y'all. I apologize.
All right, no problem. Just make sure everybody get a chance. What you got, Miss Judy?
Hello, ladies. How are you?
Glad to see you here.
Is that the famous Miss Judy?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hey, Miss Judy.
Look, Miss Judy got the floor. So we're gonna mute. What you got to tell us?
Well, I want to. You all talking about the RP. That Saturday, Martell started it all. Mel came in.
Look, it's a mic. Hold on 1 second. Mic is jumping, guys.
And it was going back and forth. Then he got mad. It was something Mel said. And then that's when he sent the picture. And then that's when Mel said, oh, RP, I have my lawyer on speed dial. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what he sent to her. Then that was in 22. And 23. Can you hear me?
You have the floor, Miss Judy. You have the floor. Everybody's mute because there's a lot of noise in the background.
And 23, that's when she found out what Martell and Arson was planning to do with the video. That they was going to pretend Martell wanted Arson to post it, whatever site, whatever site, and put it out. But she asked, I forgot her name, the other girl, to do it. And she refused, and that's when she contacted Mel and told Mel what was being planned, that they was gonna put the video out. So Martell said on Tasha K and lied, pretend that was not a video. Mel came on and she told everybody she knew what was on the video because it was her and Martell. But the video did not show Martell's face. It showed everything else. So he lied about the video. Then he lied about he don't know why he went he went to jail. But in 23, that's when Mel went and pressed charges. And then they asked her, did they want them to pick him up? She said, no, let it be. When it happened, it happened.
Okay,
but
Miss Judy, let Logical go ahead and speak. Logical, I see you had put something in the chat where Martell had said that he did not post any RP. It was like some is one picture. You want to go ahead and talk about that, Lige?
I mean, that's what it was. It was a picture. He sent her the picture.
But he said it wasn't. It wasn't.
But he lied
RP.
about that. He sent her
It
the
wasn't in
picture.
the video. Well, we
Yeah,
only
he
could go
sent her
by
the
what
picture
he
because she knew
said.
it was the video, but she knew it came from the video.
Go ahead, go ahead, Lige.
On Tasha K. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear it. And everybody else, go ahead and mute your mic.
On Tasha K. Tasha asked him about the RP text. He said it was a picture and a text message, and he allowed Tasha K to read the text messages. Melody said herself that he sent her a picture of herself. She didn't say a whole video. He sent her a picture, which now he said he has deleted. But it was he was asking her to stop bullying him on social media, or he would post the pic.
And that was that Saturday. He sent her the picture of both of them. And this man,
his message.
I know what Martell said. Martell told a lie.
No, he didn't, because he had been being bullied on social media. He was asking her to leave him alone.
That was not true. He started it that Saturday.
Miss Judah, we only can go by of what they put out. We don't know these people unless you know these people.
I saw it from the beginning. I saw the whole text from the beginning.
We only
to the
can
end.
go by of what they said. Okay,
but
that's their truth. That's their truth. Just like this is our truth. Okay.
Okay.
So
again,
we can't say that he's a liar. If he said it, that's his word.
It's crystal clear. He's been bullied for over 5 or 6 years on social media.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. I'm absolutely serious.
Do y'all really think Martell with his bad temper is being bullied? Really?
He has a temper, but he has also have been bullied, talked about. He's been called everything.
Talked about. Yeah, talked about. Yeah, talked about. Sure.
And respectfully, Miss Judy, Martell temper matches Melody. We've seen.
Nah.
Absolutely.
To me, Martell is just about a bully. But did you see the other video that I guess Tasha K put it out when she was fighting him in the garage? Did y'all see that video?
Yeah.
Did y'all hear? Did y'all hear what she said? You had
repeat it again. You broke up.
Okay. Did y'all hear? Did y'all hear in the garage? When she was fighting him in the garage, and she said, "You assaulted me," and she was fighting him. If he was afraid of Melanie, then then he laughed.
Miss Judy,
so
what Miss Judy, were they fighting or what? Because it looked like Melody was attacking Martell. I didn't see him swinging or hitting her with anything.
You didn't see his hand. His hand came in his hand. She was fighting him, but she was saying he had the camera in his other hand, with the phone in his other hand. And she said, "You assaulted me. You assaulted me."
Miss Judy, you saw Martell assault Melody that day in the video?
I'm going about what she said.
No, I'm talking about what did you see?
The streets.
I saw her attacking him. I didn't see him attacking her.
But did you hear her say, "You assaulted me"? Now, if Martell was so afraid of Mel, why did he hold her hostage for 3 hours when she tried to leave the house? And then she had to go by.
I don't have no proof of that.
We don't have no proof of that, but we heard that Melody went to the house dealing with some Christmas lights, and she had
something different.
She had a knife in her hands. And
that was different. Yeah,
like I
that was
said,
different.
we only could go by of what they put out. We can't keep making up our
But,
own,
but this is when she
Are you
started to
breaking up,
leave
Miss
the home.
Judy? Your mic is breaking
It
up.
must be my phone. But this is when she started to leave the home
Okay.
because
Okay.
he took her furs and her bags and stuff and would not give it to her.
Okay. So
And
let's
he
see.
held her for
Let's
3.
see what misbehave. Go ahead. What's your thoughts about what Miss Judy said?
Well, in typical millimeter fashion, they only see what Martell do and say.
And a whole lot of what Martell don't do, they see. Martell swing on her with no bat, no clubs, no knives, or nothing, not even no lighter fluid. I didn't see him swinging none of that in her direction. But they see it. I didn't see it. I did not see him assault her. I can only go by what I saw. I saw her assaulting him. I don't know about Miss Judy.
But you see, the thing about it is that they all are worried about some extra footage out there, because they wants to see the whole video. It doesn't matter. All they wants to see, the DA, is that whoever was on that scene committing that crime, right, guys?
Well, I think if she assaulted her, she would come out and say he did and show the video and say, oh, he was swinging on me too. But she has not said that. She said she beat him up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard her say. I don't know.
She said, I beat that tail and was happy about it.
Yes, child.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, boy.
You lost me. I lost you. I lost you guys.
Oh, okay. Now we still waiting to see Martell physically assaulting her. And we're trying to figure out, when did you see him, Miss Judy?
No. I said, that's what she said. She was fighting him in the garage.
Uh-huh.
And she said, he held his hand out. But she said, you assaulted me, and she was fighting him. But then again, he started laughing.
Okay, Miss. Okay, guys, look, we got Miss Lily on. Go ahead, Miss Lily. What do you have to say? Come on, guys, mute your mic. Everybody's saying it sounds in the back. You have something to say, Miss Lily?
Yeah, I do. I'm not going to stay long because it's quite late where I am. I just wanted to touch on something one of the other callers made reference to about the RP scenario. I think one of the things that the panel are missing is that whilst Melody has made an allegation about RP, other people have actually confirmed that that's what's actually happened. So I think that's what's missing from the conversation. While she's made the allegation that he sent her a screenshot or a still of them being intimate, so she knew what he was indicating because she knew what that video was about because it was made during their marriage. His actual baby mother or Arion, she's the person that actually came out and told a content creator that she had seen this video and offered to share it with her. And then she's also gone to a separate person and spoken about the fact that Martell wanted her to create a fake page and share this video. So it's not just Melody making this allegation. And I think in the conversation, you're dialing down on Melody and saying, what was that allegation even about? She was bullying him. There's a wider context to the situation.
But you see,
and I'm not understanding why that's being skated over.
Not to cut you off, Lily, but y'all keep talking about the RP. But according to Martell, and we only can go by of what he said, because they are the ones that's living this. He said that it's not any RP, and we keep running with that story. He said he was not arrested with the RP. It was some still shot, one picture. That's what Martell even said he had to contact the Shed Room and other media outlets to tell them that was misinformation.
Right. So
we keep running with the RP, but
it's
not the RP. That's something that these bloggers are running with.
No, so I don't think I'd say so. So based on what I've seen, and I've seen many different people present differing information and accounts about the situation. But what is clear is that outside of this situation, so you've got Martell who's come at a later time that's saying that it's not that. Okay. However, at the time he shared it with Melody back in 2022, she clearly thought that's what he was doing. That's what his intent was, because she made reference to it on social media. And then a year later, we've then got a scenario where two other people separate to Melody and Martell have made reference to that. Arion and someone that Arion was prepared to share that video with. So to some extent, there's potentially, whether we want to say, oh, well, Martell has said that's not the case. Initially, when he shared it, that's how it presented to her.
She did say that he sent her a photograph and a text. Melody,
yeah, no, when he sent that, Melody went on social media and specifically titled it that it was RP and that she would send it to her solicitors or legal representatives. Okay, so clearly, whatever he sent to her, if she's going to send it in that direction, she A, thought it was inappropriate, she B, felt violated, and she C, felt it was illegal, and that she could send it on to someone to stop what he was doing. If it was just a photo, why would she just, if it was an innocent photo, why would she
Good
need to
evening,
send
Miss
it to any legal?
Behaving. Dr. Gwinchat. Can I just say something for like 2 minutes, if you don't mind? I come from a legal background. Both my parents are attorneys. When I asked my father, who's been practicing law for over 30 years, I said, sir, I want to find out if this alleged revenge porn is the same as DB3. My father said, well, look up the penal code for the state of Alabama, which I did. Revenge P, I put it in the chat. One is a 13A 6240 and one is 13A 6132, I believe. You can look at the chat. Both are two separate charges. Martell was charged with one of those penal codes, not the other. If you Google them, one does not fall under the other charge. So if there was actual Revenge P, he would have been charged with the exact penal code. So these people have no idea what they're talking about. As of now, if I'm wrong, I stand corrected. As of now, there is no
Only one
RP
got the mic.
charge.
Nicole got the mic. Okay, so mute your mics, guys. Nicole have the mic, and I don't want to shout because my throat. I had thyroid surgery, so mute
Yes,
your
ma'am.
mic, guys, and let Nicole Givens talk. Okay.
Okay,
ahead,
so I thank you, ma'am. I will say this. When my husband and I were married, which was 23 years, we both had heated incidents, and that's basically an understatement. There was a time where the neighbors contacted the police. At the time, I had one child, and I scratched him because he had a mark on him. They took me to jail here in Dallas, and he did drop the charge. But my father told me, he said, sweetheart, even if there's provocation, meaning if you were provoked, you might get a lesser charge, but you will still be charged. So if I walk around the house and I attempt to commit arson or attempted murder or child endangerment or all three, I may not get 40 years, I may get 20 because I was provoked, but that does not negate my responsibility. But as I stated, if you look at both penal codes, as I put in the chat, the RP charge, and you Google them, the RP charge has nothing to do with the DB3. They're both two separate codes. Martell was not charged with distributing private images. He was charged with DB3. Absolutely. So that's basically all I wanted to say, Lady D, and I thank you for having me on your panel, ma'am. I've been hoping you came on all day.
Thank you too. I thank you very much. I mean, you was a blessing. You brought Misbehave on. So thank you very much for sharing my videos. And you are welcome anytime, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All
but
right.
That's basically what I wanted to say, sweetie. These people these gas meters, as I now call them, misbehaving, have no idea what they're talking about. They're out here trying to spin Melody's narrative. Like today, I was watching one of the gas meters channels this morning, and she's trying to say, he only submitted part of the video or only partial clips, it doesn't matter. Even
That's
if
what
you
I'm
are
saying.
provoked, you are still criminally responsible for what you've done. But what I want to do, Pop, my dad's retired. He just retired last year. He said, if you're looking for any kind of law, look up the penal codes. Nobody can dispute that. So I just put, he said, whatever charge you want to specifically know, go ahead and Google it and then read it and see if it falls under that same category. Distributing a private image in Alabama falls under RP. DV3, it's a whole different code altogether. So these folks don't know what they're talking about. Even though I could say that I have a tape today and I'm going to show it to my friend, there's been no image produced as of to date, or else he would have been charged with that.
Well, make sure you email it to me, Nicole, if you got
I
something.
put it in the chat, Lady D.
Oh, you did?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I put it in the chat for any gas meters that are watching so they can Google it as well and see I'm not making it up.
Okay. I think 92.7 want to say so. What you got? She might want to talk to rebut what you said, Nicole. Go ahead, 92.7. 92.7. Okay, guys, look, I'm gonna stay on 5 more minutes, and after that, we're gonna go ahead and close the live. Again, guys, make sure you guys go ahead and check out Misbehave. Misbehave,
she got it going on.
She have her channel. So if you got some channels, guys, make sure you go ahead and leave your link. Okay, we already gonna put Misbehave link down. So guys, make sure you go ahead and check out Misbehave. Okay, Misbehave. Are you there?
Hey, yes, ma'am. Hey, Nicole.
Tell people how to follow you. Tell people how to go ahead and follow you to your channel.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, all I have is the one channel. Misbehaving is fun. And it's all one word. And I'm going to let you know now, I'm a working nurse and a mother. So I may schedule a live. And when I get off work, I'm exhausted. I may fall asleep thinking I'm taking a nap, or you may see me push the time back. But I am trying to work on being more consistent. But this YouTube is my hobby. I have this, and this is the only one I'm going to interact with people. Some people have discovered that I do have an Instagram page, but it's private. I've had multiple requests and I've ignored them because
I do too.
That's no, and I'm old school. I believe that we're being tracked on everything, and I call us social media sharecroppers. They want us to do all the work while they get all the money. So I'm only letting YouTube use me for right now, but
that's how I am too.
Anyway, but I do have some videos up there, some shorts, and ordinarily my channel was supposed to focus on mental health and dealing with the people in the Down syndrome, autism community, and I'm a psych nurse, and I work in I work in criminal law enforcement setting, so we definitely need that. So just leave something in the comment, watch the video. I said once I get my watch hours, I'll start camming up, but I've had several people tell me, nope, don't cam up, your picture's already there. And I said, well, if they want to jeopardize their government job by trying to dox me.
Okay. But like I said, these people have no idea. And if I were Martell, he has a very strong defamation suit because provocation is no excuse to commit a crime because you're provoked. And number two, distributing private image and DV3 are two separate charges. So based on that alone, he could basically go to YouTube and strike and sue. And I know a lot of these content creators aren't rich, but because of the cyberbullying he's experiencing, people need to lay off. That's all I'm saying. Legally, you can see it.
Absolutely. Yes. But have you all, I just want to say this. I'm sorry. Let me just say this. Have you all noticed? I've noticed that a lot of people are just purposely creating channels because they know this is an easy way to gain subscribers and to earn money by bashing Martell. And now there are even men coming out and same thing. And I don't watch all of their videos. I know I saw a video the other day that popped up because this lady was from a particular sector that I was from, and she's supposed to be love, light, and happiness. She got up there and did a short video recommending that Martell be unalived, and it disturbed me so much.
I saw that. I think it's sick.
Did you see that clip? Did you see that clip? I said,
yes,
now
ma'am.
she has a child close to Martell's age. What mother? No mother wants that for their child just because of reality television.
These people, like Lady D said, they're trying to displace the trauma bond and put all their anger and hatred towards men that have done them wrong on Martell. And it's sick. And when she put that narrative out, you know, from the beginning, it was to basically, you know, thrive from her pain or situation. But to me, if my child's father says, look, this is too much, I don't want to introduce this, let's do something else. And to me, there's no way I would sit on stage after all my ex-husband has done and sit on stage and say, you're lower than low in the scum of the earth. Because those kids, look at that. When we went through family therapy that was court ordered, we were told not to say anything publicly that disparaged or made, you know, was negative against the other parent. So I dismantled all my social media because he was putting negative things on there and they were seeing it. So my mom said, be quiet. They're going to see eventually. So one time their dad was talking real nasty to me, you know, be this, be that. My son said, Mama, he's about 12. Why do you allow him to talk to you like that? They start seeing things on their own. Okay, so what I'm saying is, but I would never, even though my sentiments are exactly hers when it comes to him, but I tell my kids, I can never say anything. Your dad was a licensed electrician and contractor. He always provided very well for us, although we didn't reside together throughout the entire marriage. So nobody can say anything all negative about the other parent, but you shouldn't do it in front of the kids or where they can see it. Based on what a professional family therapist told me. Absolutely. So in my opinion, both of them need some help. Like Lady D said on one of her videos, everybody in that situation needs help. And because it was that toxic, it should not have been brought to TV. I agree.
Absolutely. Okay, guys,
Sorry,
each one
Lady D, can I just interject? Sorry, can I just interject?
Look, hold on 1 second. 5 minutes. Each one could take 5 minutes. Who have the mic? And after that,
I'm gonna drop down, y'all.
All right.
Good night, guys. Thank you for having me. Okay.
Okay. Right. And come back anytime.
I'm dropping down too. I'm dropping down too to the chat.
Thank you, Miss
all.
Behave.
Have a beautiful evening.
Okay, and nice thank you for coming on. All righty. Okay, who have the mic? 92.7. You have the mic.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do my last little comment if no one else wants to go.
Oh, who's speaking, Lily?
This is 92.7.
All right, go ahead.
All right. My last comment, I had a question actually. It's not a comment. I had actually two questions. My first comment was, you know how they say Mel wouldn't have a storyline if she's not talking about Martell?
Yes.
Okay. Don't you think though, if she was a wife, if she's a mom, and she's experienced that, that's kind of her story. So even if she doesn't down Martell, like saying, oh, he's whatever personal attacks, her story is still what she's experienced. So she can only speak from her story, kind of. And my other go ahead.
So you're trying to say she's supposed to talk for 6 seasons?
No, but I think I don't think it's all male. Like she's an executive producer, but obviously they don't have that much control if they couldn't even say, we want to do more of a HGTV style show versus an ensemble cast. Like she don't have that much control. She got about as much control as that woman on Married to Medicine who's not on there no more. Yeah. But it was her show. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Carlos has that much control. Like I don't know. But my second comment was, part of me, I know this show is toxic, but honestly, reality shows to me are a glimpse of a reflection of what America is right now. If you look at these young people, 30 and lower, and how they're dating and the toxicity, it's about the same as what we're seeing on reality TV shows, from Love and Hip Hop to Married to Medicine. All of it is a glimpse. All of it is a glimpse of what's actually going on in America. And a part of me, as much toxicity Love and Marriage has, I'm kind of happy that Mel and Martell's story was shown, because a lot of people say if that show didn't air, Mel would still be with Martell. Could you imagine that woman still with Martell and those kids going through all of what they're going through?
Or vice versa. Okay, who
vice versa.
Go ahead, 97.7. 97.7.
I was 97.7.
Who is 92.7?
The last caller, the last young lady.
Oh, that's the one was talking?
Right.
Okay, Miss Lily, you have something to say?
Yeah, just really quickly.
Go ahead.
In terms of what's been discussed.
3 minutes.
Yeah, just really quickly. So in terms of what's been discussed by the panel so far, the only thing I would say is that everyone responds to domestic violence differently. Everyone responds to the breakdown of relationships differently. And I think some of the comments that have been made about, and this is not about someone being a millimeter or anything like that. I just think that some of the comments that have been made, it's like her behaviors have been isolated and it hasn't been placed into the context of someone who is dealing with a lot of different situations happening at the time of being cheated upon, learning that her husband is impregnating a side chick over and over again repeatedly. In the meantime, having her own children, managing businesses, you would be under a lot of stresses. So I think some of the things that, and I'm not saying that Melody shouldn't be held accountable in terms of some of her actions, and the way she's potentially presented herself in certain situations. However, I do think that to some extent, the way the panel have spoken, there seems to be a lack of empathy or a lack of understanding of what domestic violence can look like. And I'm not suggesting that he's been physically abusive, because she's never disclosed that. But clearly there's been a high level of emotional abuse, and that can just be that, emotional abuse has.
So I have a question for you. What about the part that Melody played in? Do you think that she should be held accountable for her action as well? With the lighter fluid, with admitting she beats his butt?
You may say, well, I didn't do that, but that's the way she
acknowledged
responded.
what she did. Martell never said he hit her, and Melody also said Martell never even physically.
I just said that. I just said that. I was very clear. I differentiated domestic violence. Okay, the UN definition. Sorry, the United Nations definition of domestic violence is not just physical. It's emotional, financial, and sexual abuse. So you don't have to. So someone can financially abuse you. He stole money from her. That still constitutes domestic violence. Emotional abuse still constitutes domestic violence. So I'm not talking about the physical aspect. She's never disclosed that. I'm talking about the emotional abuse. I'm talking about the financial abuse. All of those aspects, it can impact someone's emotional well-being, and they can sometimes behave out of character. And I do think some of the things that have been discussed today, I think that it could have been a bit more balanced. We can highlight Melody's behaviors, but you have to contextualize that in terms of what Martell was doing at the same time. I don't think you can isolate the two. I don't think you can isolate the two.
We only talks about what Melody, as the victim. We never talk about what Martell went through. Martell even said, when he put out a comment, men cry in silence. We already know from what Martell put out that Melody also, she's very aggressive. But see, the thing about it, guys, you guys don't want to talk about that. So look, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Logical, you got the last word. Thank you, Miss Lily. Thank you for coming on, okay?
Yeah, my last word is, when it comes down to violence and abuse, it doesn't matter to me whether it was a female or a male. She needs to be held accountable for her actions. And as far as Martell cheating, of course that was absolutely wrong for him to cheat in his marriage. Nobody's giving him a pass for that. But I don't feel like that the negative comments and the vitriol has to be ever, never ending for him. When does it end?
That's what I want to know.
And I've heard him apologize to her a couple of different times. That's all he can do is apologize for cheating on her. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, she has to be held accountable as well as Martell. I'm going to support Martell because he has very little support.
Absolutely. I always go for the underdog as well.
You know, and she has a lot of support.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I feel like I have to point out her wrongdoings as well as his.
Absolutely.
And that's it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Lodge. Thank you for coming on and helping us sister out because my God, it was kind of rough today.
Yes. No, it was. I was glad to see other people come up and speak, have their say. I think they know now that this is a safe space and everybody can have their opinions and
thank you.
Speak their truth. And I enjoyed every second of it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right, so good night here. Okay, guys, this was a great live. I enjoyed every bit of it, but I'm about to go to bed, man. I got to do some cleaning up and get everything together. So thank you guys. Thank you for coming on. I'm not going to go ahead and call all your names, but thank you, Lily. Thank you, Nicole Gibbons. Thank you very much for sharing my videos and bringing me some new subscribers. Thank you very much. And also my girl always holding me down. Thank you, Starbucks, for coming in and helping, being a mod. And who else? Misbehave, guys. Make sure y'all go and check Misbehave channel out. Nicole Gibbons say, I hope you feel better. Thank you very much. Thank you. So guys, look, my voice is just getting deeper and deeper. So I'm gonna go ahead and rest myself. And you all guys, like I said, at the end of the day, try to, like I said, try to, just look at it as a positive way because there's no winners. The only ones that's going to get hurt the most out of all this right here, and it's the kids. But we have to realize that we looking, from the outside in, and like I said, they chose to put their life on display. And anytime when you come out, especially with these reality shows, it tends to stereotype us, but it's the nature of the beast. Much is given, much is required. So guys, on that note, you all have a good night.